Well, welcome. We got some fantastic racing for you here this evening for the Conspit GR86 Racing League at the Tanso Racing Group, and this will be round 4 at Barber Motorsport. I'll be a commentator here this evening. Dean Biggles. Joining me is the man from Texas and this country as well, too, for the race we're having tonight. Jim Cunningham, how are you?
Good, man. Glad to be here. We're at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama, the beautiful state of Alabama. This is the great little track, probably one of the very unknown tracks in the United States that is a really high quality little motorsports park. It's got a lot of elevation changes, and it's a pretty tight little course. I think it was probably built for bikes and small cars like the Mazda MX-5s and these GR86s. You put bigger cars on it, it can be really tough to pass, but this ought to be pretty exciting tonight because there's not a ton of room on the track, so when they try to pass each other, there probably will be some contact.
Let's go down to our drivers that are underway currently at the moment for a qualifying session, my friend.
Yeah, we got just a couple of minutes left in qualifying. See what we've got going on so far for speed here.
Welcome everybody in the chat. I'm going to say hello there. Connor, Digger's out there as well too. I know some drivers are Andrew, Paul, Sim Racing, Kez. I know some drivers out there are recovering from a endurance race, and probably if you're an Australian like Dean Cummings, you might be coming back from their Bathurst 12-hour. As Simon's just pulling up at the moment. Only a couple of drivers out there. Rick Wishton, Bradley Lovings, they're currently out on track here for the dying stages of our qualifying session.
Yeah, Bradley raced this morning already. He's in that same league that I'm in, and they had their GT3 race this morning. So I know he put in some time this morning in the car, as well as Curtis Matthews, and I think Adam Hansen is was also in that race. But yeah, we're just about to wrap up here. Times look pretty good too. They're going to be within a couple seconds of each other, the whole field.
Please let us know how your weekend is or has been. If you're already in some parts of the world, you're already heading into, obviously in the States, you're into your Sunday now, aren't you? Or you're in your Monday. I can't remember now. I'm more confused. Qualifying's over.
We are in the middle of our Sunday over here.
There you go. So I'm always a day ahead. I'm over in Australia. So that is it. That's wrapped up for our qualifying session. We'll get that grid up there in a second as we're going to get ready to go racing here in the heart of the United States of America, motocross racing. So we do have a couple of American drivers here, and let's get that grid up for you to go over there, my friend.
Yeah, here we go. All right, on the front row, we got Daniel Wareham on pole with Josh Arnold sharing the front row with him. On second row, we got Peter Duke and Michael Dolan. On row 3, Dan Forrester, Adam Hansen. Row 4, we've got Dave Collier and Adam Hadfield. On row 5, we've got Sean McPhee and Simon McPhee and Sean Atkinson. I'm reading ahead of myself tonight. On row 6, we've got Lee Reynolds and Rylands and Terry Atkinson. Row 7, we've got Curtis Matthews and Dean Cummings. Row 8, we've got Stuart Brierly and John Johnson. And rounding out your field here, I believe, is going to be Bradley Lovings and Rick Wishon. I don't think either one of those guys put up a time. Maybe they didn't make it in time to put up a time for qualifying.
Thank you very much for that, my friend. Can we have the initials, please? Need to tell the Atkinsons. I do this every week for some reason. It never seems to save it. I need to talk to James about that one. As I do save it, actually, but it never actually exists to continue to do that. But anyway, it's fixed. Thank you very much. Anything you'd like out there, please let us know. If the levels are okay too, I know I'm having some issues with my microphone, but I think it's time to get ready to go racing, my friend, here at Barber.
Lights are on here, and we are racing. All right. This is, as you can see, this straightaway right here has a nice little elevation change as they spread out and get three wide in a couple spots coming into a tight turn here. You got Wareham pulled out in front with Peter Duke slotting in behind him, and close behind is Arnold.
And we got an incident already, my friend, at the further at the back there. That's 3 cars involved. Looks like Adrian Headfield, Sean Atkinson, Bradley, and not sure who else is involved that one. We'll go back and have a look at that in a second as we got these drivers continuing to make some moves already.
I hope that, I hope that wasn't Bradley Lovings involved in that. Poor thing. Same thing happened to him in the GT3 race today. A guy bounced off the wall and sent him spinning off, and on the first lap messed his race up. But out here in the front, we got riding on board here with I can't see who we're holding. McPhee. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Daniel Wareham's still out front with Josh Arnold has moved up into second.
Oh, that's heavy impact. That's Michael.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a busted front wheel as well, too, for Michael Dillon. He's going to tow back to pit road immediately with a damaged car. That's too much to even drive back. He snapped the whole front suspension. We've got a couple of replays.
Michael Dolan. Yeah, I'd love to see that again if we can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like they're settling in here now a little bit. By the way, Josh Arnold did get past Peter Duke there right before that last incident, and we got Dan Forrester up a spot into fourth place, and Dave Collier has moved up a couple of spots into fifth.
Sees an opportunity, overtakes up on the inside there, can't quite get it down there. We didn't get a chance to go through a lap guide, actually, as the qualifying was done and dusted pretty quickly. The drivers come out there with about a 30-minute practice session, give or take, was a little less than that. So, quite comfortable at taking the car around here. Let's go back and have a look at that replay real quick and just see whether or not Dan Foster's going to try to move on Peter Duke first, because we don't want to miss that, as that's currently the
let's stay with that for a second. I think he might make a run at him here. Like I said, this is a tough place to pass. There's there's a couple of good passing zones, but as you can see, this track has some wonderful little elevation changes, downhill turns, uphill turns that are blind. It's a great little track.
Well, like a run for the lead right now, too, my friend. Check this out. Good exit there from Josh Arnold.
Oh, he is all over him.
Absolutely. Give him a little bit of a tank slapper at the moment. Not really a tank slapper. It was close to it, but letting him know, hey, I'm here, I'm pushing, I'm coming, thinking fast here for the 355 machine. It's bringing Peter Duke into play behind them as well. So there's top 4. Well, there it is. There's the top 5, actually, almost 6. So you got to go down to Adam, and then you got a bit of a gap there to Terry Exon.
I'll use that American saying for you that you love when I use it is those guys are all running close enough you can throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, it is. Blow the blanket over. I still can't get my head around that. It's like, I guess you guys go to too many cookout at the cookouts or something like that. Of course, there's one going on right now. In a couple of hours at Bowman Gray, but. Yeah, have a cookout. Throw a blanket over the cars.
You like that one, so I'll throw that one in there for you.
Daniel still holding on to the lead there over his teammate Josh Arnold there, and there is their further teammate down there at the moment. There is the other Simtech entry of David Foster. So Simtechs 1, 2, and 4. And then you got the DC Motorsport splitting them between there and David Collins a little bit further down for the DC Motorsport. Let's go back and have a look at the race start there for Adrian Hatfield to see if we can get something a little bit more, thankfully, on those tracks that cover it with the trees. There's the incident, my friend.
Yeah, and those guys were kind of coming around that turn. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Lovings did get involved in it. Golly.
This is on board from Sean Atkinson's opinion. He's going to see it. He gets tagged from behind, actually, on that one. Well, it was from Bradley. I do apologize about these horrible camera angles here. Oh, he's already arriving at the scene of the accident there. Boom! Nowhere to go, Bradley.
Yeah. Coming around that blind turn, he didn't even see those cars sitting there until he got around that turn. And more than likely, he was focused on the car that was right in front of him.
And this is Michael
right.
Doolan's crash, the high-speed impact one. Oh, it just gets loose. I don't think it gets doored. Bang! Heavy impact into the fence, and
Man,
that won't buff out.
When it caught, it just took off straight for the wall.
Are these teammates going to organise an overtake? Are there open team orders there, or is Toto Wolff going to be slamming some Bose headphones across the garage?
Oh, yeah, what did,
oh, he's wiggling. He's wiggling that cockpit like crazy. The steering wheel. Did you see Daniel there for a second? Oh.
I didn't. No, I was looking over at the timing and scoring tower to see what was going on further back in the field. Just want to drop in that Stuart Brierley is up 4 spots back there, and Rick Wishon is up 9 spots into 10th place right now. He's moved up from the very back row, didn't put in a qualifying time, and he is up to 9th already.
Making a run, Josh Arnold, and it looks like that is organised. Now, I wonder if there was team orders at play there, because I don't know why Daniel was wiggling his steering wheel through the roof there before. Was that an indication to let Josh know that, hey, you can overtake? I'm not sure if they are in the same Discord chat in communication or not, but either way, that's a switcheroo.
More than likely, if they were running that kind of team orders and stuff, they would certainly be in Discord with each other. It's so easily available.
That's if there's team orders at play. They could just be free to
go. No, right. But I think it is.
To answer your question out there, Andrew, we have 30. I've just put that up on the indicator. Thank you very much. Time is really not that irrelevant unless we manage to go over the distance, but that would only be because of cautions. We're not going to have a caution car. There's your leader of your pro. AM. Well, he's going for it. Whoa, that's a late set up the inside. And I'll tell you what, Peter Duke, if you can hold on to this one, you may, but we're going to have a 3-wide battle behind him currently at the moment.
Yeah, that's... yeah. Wow. Yeah, they're having a little run down there.
He's not allowing any space. And I do get really upset with iRacing about having bloody trees in the way. You can chop them down, it's a virtual world. Don't need them there.
Yeah, Peter Duke pulled that
so I could
move back off, and Arnold has moved up into first.
Yes.
Worsham's moving back a little bit, obviously starting on the pole.
Well, Peter Duke got
right,
the
but right
done.
There. Yeah. I'm waiting for the attorney reference. The law firm.
Not yet, my friend. There's a battle further back between Rick Wishon, Lee Reynolds there, and Simon McPhee. That's got a fantastic, colourful livery spotting on the 42.
I like that livery, yeah.
Ooh, completely different racing line approaching than that one. But he's still keeping within half a second.
Yeah, it almost looks like he might have just slightly overshot his braking mark there.
Whoa. Somebody did in the background. That's Stuart.
Oh, my goodness.
Somebody
had to help him around there, huh?
I don't know.
Wow, that took off for just a single car spin. That was pretty violent. These little Toyotas are tough, man. That thing's still going. He knocked the whole front end off of it.
Race control doesn't have any problemo whatsoever, and said, no, that was nothing.
Wow.
Now it's coming up. Let's have a look. Daylight dollar short on that one, but let's have a look at his steering wheel. Comes out of the corner, hits the grass. There it is. No traction out there on the kitty litter. Bingo.
Oh, that was Curtis?
That was Curtis Matthews.
I thought he was running a different livery earlier. I maybe needed to refresh my trading paints or something. Because I thought he was in his, which he's a sponsor in this league. He owns Blue Angels Kennels, which I believe is they're breeders of a show of corgis. And I know he's a sponsor in this series. In fact, there's this logo in the top corner up there right now.
Fantastic battle start, another lap, 7 of 30 currently at the moment. And look at the lead that Josh Arnold's now pulled over the rest of the field here. And you can see the cars, a blanket of cars that you'd be throwing over them if you were Jim. Right behind him there, Dan Foster there, Daniel Wareham and Peter Duke. Now Peter's got up the road, cleared his way from one of the Simtech racing machines, and he's got him still behind, so he hasn't managed to drop him just yet. They're sticking together there, Daniel and Dan Foster.
Yeah, and they're giving him fits, Peter Duke, giving him fits there, and that's allowing Josh Arnold to get a little separation in there now. He's got about almost a second, well, a little over a second. I was going to say a second and a half. It's not quite that much yet. But, as long as they're nipping at Peter's heels like that, it's going to make it tough for him to keep his focus on Arnold. Yeah, you can see Arnold has stretched it out a little bit there.
We've got some fans out there keeping an eye out there. Sean, and that's Sean Atkinson. There he is at the moment. We've got some Sean fans. The 286 machine is about, as you can see on your screen, give or take, he's 3 seconds down the road from Mr. John Johnson. So we'll keep an eye on that one. I know that the Paul West certainly is keeping an eye on that one. We'll see if he can close that gap. He's got time to go. We've got 13 laps at least to go in this race. So.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, Sean's liveries are done by his brother. Terry Atkinson does liveries for a lot of the guys in the groups and stuff. TS Designs, TS Liveries, I believe is the name of it.
Yes,
and
it's Tezza.
They have some nice. That's right, that's sir.
That's Tezza right there. As mate, as Australian, we're always going to give you a nickname. Your nickname's always been Tezza since I've seen you in the league, mate. So there he is. Thank you. We'll go back to you, Tezza, if you get some action on the track there, because we is getting action. Jeez, I'm going to get murdered for my English teacher. We are getting action from Peter Duke and Daniel Wareham.
And you're supposed to speak that Queen's English, the proper English. Well, I guess it's the King's English.
Australian English, mate. There's no proper in that.
Yeah, so I see he's up. Yeah, they're staying right on Peter Duke there, and that is, like I said, letting Josh get away a little bit. So we've got, I guess we've got about 7.5 minutes or so left in this one.
A little bit of a switcheroo perhaps occurring right now as the camera guy almost fell out of the helicopter trying to get that right underneath him. I apologize for the audio.
To catch on camera.
It's like crazy loud when you're inside the car, and it's not so loud on the external car track cameras, which I have turned up, but it's still been a little bit messed up. So it's a little quieter. We will get it. There's about 400 cameras that I have to adjust, and it takes some time. He's got the air conditioning off and the window down.
He does. Well, it's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think the weather there was like 60, 65 degrees today or something like that for this race, which that's some beautiful Alabama weather. This is not too far. This is not too far at all from, of course, the famous NASCAR track, Talladega.
There you go.
Probably within an hour or so. I didn't even know about this place until this summer, and apparently it's a private-owned track, and they have one of the largest private collections of motor racing in their motor racing memorabilia in their museum there. A lot of old race bikes and cars going back into the 60s. The owner of the Motorsports Park here is a big-time collector, so he has a huge museum. It's one of the biggest in the world, motorsports museums.
Wow. Not Zach Brown, is it?
No, it's not Zach Brown.
Zach Brown's got a huge collection.
Whoa.
So this is what different racing line sticking your nose up there. It's going to scrub so much speed there from Daniel, but he manages to hook onto it. We'll keep an eye on Sean Atkinson. He's down to about 7/10 now. He's chipping away at John Johnson. One thing to catch, another thing to overtake JJ up the road. But that will be growing up there. I know Paul West will be we'll keep our eyes peeled on that when it gets closer. I just want to keep my eyes peeled on this one because Daniel's really put the pressure there on Peter, who hasn't been able to just catch Josh Arnold up the road. Although Josh Arnold hasn't been dropping of late the last couple of laps. So these guys are doing a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that's I tell you what, man, if you look at you look at Daniel, he is giving Peter fits. In fact, I believe he got him right there. He might get him.
Got to give him a nice little drag run, certainly for sure.
Yeah.
Down.
Well, I think Peter's going to have that inside line though coming up here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he swung it right on around the outside. He got by him.
He had to lift.
Yeah.
He had to lift, and
Well,
then Josh and
like
Daniel didn't really.
Fernando Alonso said about Michael Schumacher. I knew he'd lift. He had a wife and kids at home. That's what he said. He said that. They took it down into a corner, hot and heavy. And that's what he said. He said, I knew
Sean
he'd
actually
lift. He
got
had a wife
past
and
John
kids.
Johnson as well. JJ.
Oh, he sure.
So, whilst we looked at that one, I'm going to go back and have a look to see if I can find that replay in a second as well, too, for sure, because we know got fan clubs out there, and we do listen to our audience here at JP Broadcasting. It's just that these drivers
Absolutely.
have to choreograph their
have any
overtakes.
requests or like want to ask questions, jump into the chat, and we definitely will try to get them answered for you. By the way, Rick Wishing, man, up 10 spots into 8th now.
Absolutely fantastic.
Of course,
you can see that in your timing tower.
We got about 3.5 minutes or so, and then we're gonna invert the field and get back after it again.
Absolutely, a 20-minute race, so we're not going to get through those laps, but you don't need to. It is this run again, you know that Peter Duke wants it back, and that's a classic overtaking opportunity right there, textbook. You got to hold on to it, but you know you're going to go for another little drag strip down here.
Yeah, he got a good run off that one though. It looks like.
So he's completely defensive in the middle of the tracks. Now he knows he doesn't have to go off the racing line too much, but he did. Ooh. Cuts it completely. Goes out wide. Keep it out of the kitty litter. Will lose that place. I'd imagine he won't have the momentum and the speed that will go in favor of Daniel. So
yeah, I think he lost his momentum there when he slung it off track and then had to kind of hold on to it.
Side by side. Look at this now. Dan's going to get in the mix. Dan had to lift off.
Peter's slinging that car around too. He's not playing. Of course, Peter runs in that. Well, a lot of these guys do, but I know Peter runs in that the GT3 series that you and I do on Monday evenings for us, Tuesday for you, I guess.
Yes, so there's another battle at the moment behind Rick and Tezza, and Lee has also caught them. I'm still wanting to go back. John Johnson's gone off the track, but keep an eye on this.
Yeah, I don't think this is over.
So Rick gets the move there on Tezza.
Yeah.
And Tezza's not careful. You got Lee right behind him, and has been an overtake between Dan Foster and Adam as well. So overtakes action absolutely everywhere on the track between the pro AMs and AM classes.
Yeah, they are scrambling.
Can't even get that replay up for you. You wanted to see there on Sean a little bit further back, but we will get to it hopefully. Actually, we've got 2 seconds to look at that one right now. I'm just doing that for the fans out there, and this will be the overtake. We get a good camera angle. It's just up on the inside, isn't it? There's a bit of a door banging, and then
yeah, but this right here is going to be a nice move because he had the inside line on him, and he just hung it on around the outside there. Look at that.
Yep, where the two trailer
nice pass
around the outside. Around the outside.
Job I walked done. Right into that one. Golly, I literally walked right into that one. That was horrible. Adam Hansen and
bit of comedy here as well too on the JP Broadcast Network. You're absolutely fine. Yep, there's that first battle there. There's battles up the road from them, and they are reeling Josh back in. So Josh is. I know that Josh has been backing off on some of those lap times, but a little bit too much up the road because there he is. Daniel's now caught him. He's dispersed of Peter Duke.
We should get the white flag this time by, I believe. Yeah, we should definitely get the white flag this time by. Josh had a good run though. That was a good race. I mean, he got himself out there in front. And he stayed there.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
It ain't over yet till that checkered Barney waves that checkered flag, my friend, because here it is.
Well, these two are teammates, so they're probably allowed to have fun on the last lap.
Josh is not wanting to yield that one up at all, my friend.
No. Looks like Peter Duke has kind of settled into third back there, and he's realizes that's what he's got. And I guess it should be pointed out that that Hansen is Adam Hansen is shown as an amateur here, if that's the case, which we still are trying to get some of these drivers sorted out into the right categories. But Adam Hansen running fifth as a...
There's been a crash back here too. Dean Cunnings has gone around.
Oh my goodness.
And Sean Atkinson may have got into him as well too, but we'll have to keep an eyes peeled on the front. There's a checkered flag.
Yep, Peter Duke giving him a little signal. Good race.
Yep, Peter, Dan, and Duke. Peter, Josh, Daniel, and Peter, not a law firm. Drivers, Dan Forster, Adam. Go back and have a look at this one really quickly of Dean Cunnings before it switches to session and we don't get the replays. Unless Dean's locked up and made a mistake here. I think he might have for the 32. He's thrown it up. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Lost it out of the S's. And bang.
Oh,
that's
Sean.
Sean goes straight into him, but Sean should continue on and finish in P12.
Yeah, that's just going to put him up towards the front in the next one, so... All right, so let's we'll throw the results up real quick if we can, are we not even? I don't think all the cars are across yet.
The line. Yeah, there we go. Stuart, Adrian.
I know we don't have much time before they jumps over to the other session.
Yes, iRacing, if you are listening, which you probably aren't, would be great if you have a little timeout thing that you allow, not when you progress between the sessions.
That would be nice.
So that we can actually go back and look at all the replays, stuff like that, before it completely transitions into another session. There we go.
That should be everybody.
So we should have a Heat 1 results for you coming up right now.
All right, here we go. All right, so Josh Arnold obviously had a great run there. Took over the lead and, I won't say he didn't look back because he was definitely looking back there on that last lap. Daniel Wareham in second, Peter Duke third, Dan Forrester fourth. Rounding out your top fives, Adam Hansen. And if that is correct, he would be the top amateur, which is a pretty impressive run there. Dave Collier in sixth, Rick Wisham in seventh, Terry Atkinson with the TS Designs liveries in eighth, Lee Rylands in ninth, and Simon McPhee rounding out your top 10, and followed by John Johnston. John Atkinson still came through with a 12th place finish even after that incident on the last lap. Stuart Brierley, Adrian Hatfield, Michael Dolan, who got into some trouble early. I get most of these drivers here were involved in one of those incidents. Dean Cummings, Bradley Lovings, and Curtis Matthews closing out the field there. He's took that hard ride into the wall, and I guess he could get it back on the track for this one. But the good news is he'll have a nice view for the start of the next race.
Absolutely. There's your Pro 3 drivers and the finishing in positions. There's 2 tenths between Josh and Daniel that we're going for a tipper now towards the end. And Lee a little bit further back down, 13 seconds. In the AM class, there was not too much there with Adam dominating that field there by a 16-second gap over there to Simon. John Johnson, you saw having a little bit of a moment towards the end there, dropped down to 29 seconds off the pace there. Stuart there, Michael Dillon and Dean Cummings of the Pro AM class. To wrap it up with a ton of those drivers there. Peter Duke, as you know, duking it out there with the top guns of the pros there, along with Dan Forster a little bit further back there, and Dave Culler, and there's Rick Terry, the Atkinson crew, Adrian Hadfield, Bradley Lovings, and Curtis Matthews.
Yeah, obviously that was a lot of the guys running up front there, and a couple of guys that were involved in some incidents earlier that are pretty fast drivers as well. So, all right. So, is there a little warm? Yeah, there's a 5-minute warm.
5-minute warm up, which is exactly what. Look at the big spider there as well too. There's
there's a story about that. So,
oh yeah, all right. Tell
yeah,
us
well,
the story.
I don't know the reason behind it. I know it had it's based off of the Charlotte's Web novel. Apparently he's a literature fan, and he put they got the spider and some baby spiders out there. And I think when you win here, the tradition is you go out and you kiss the metal spider in the infield there. I don't, like I said, I know it's based off of its name is Charlotte. The spider's name is Charlotte, and it's from the Charlotte's Web novel. And the tradition is you win here, you go kiss the spider.
Wow. I would have thought you would have to hold up a big trash or something like that on the podium.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Wow, go kiss the spider. All right, well, let's see which driver's going to go kiss the spider in the feature race. As we can't, unfortunately, as I said, show any of the replays, because there would have been a lot of replays to show too from that fantastic first heat. But that's something, as I said, iRacing hopefully should address in the future there, if they can possibly. Whilst they have these warm-up sessions, we can still continue with what was happening in the previous race session so that we can look at those replays. I'll preaching to the choir, I think, on that one, trying to ask iRacing to listen to broadcasters that do this 3 times a day. Everybody, I hope you're enjoying your lovely weekend. Lots of motorsports action, of course, on the weekend. You had the Bathurst 12-hour, of course, in the virtual world. You had endurance races. You've got the NASCAR season at the Bowman Gray Stadium happening. The race is happening a little bit later on today. And that'll be fun because short track, that one is.
Yeah,
more motorsports happening here at the JP Broadcasting Network as well. You've got coming up. What do you have? You have a broadcast coming up as well too.
Yeah, I'm doing I do a NASCAR race tonight, the one I normally do with you. But of course you're busy doing some other real NASCAR stuff tonight. We'll be doing the triple bypass race tonight from St. Louis. From the Worldwide Technology
great track.
Racetrack.
Yep. We also got Interlagos, one of my favorite tracks. That's happening after this race. It'll be starting soon, actually, here on the JP Broadcasting Network of James himself. That'll be the LGP Round 7 at Interlagos. And then another Interlagos. James is going to be loving Interlagos. This is one of his favorite tracks. That'll be the SR4S, the Racing League. The Simpletons Racing League Round 3 at Interlagos. So he'll be going to those 2 Interlagos tracks. You'll be heading over there to the Worldwide Technology Park. And we'll be heading to the grid for our feature race.
All right. Yeah, here we go. All right. Let's get a look at this. So we're going to have Curtis Matthews and Bradley Lovings, both of the guys from the Old Guys Racing League who got in some trouble last time on the front row there. Dean Cummings and Michael Doolin on the second row. Adrian Hatfield and Stuart Brierley on the third row. Sean Atkinson and John Johnson on the fourth row. Simon McPhee and Lee Rylands on row 5. Kerry Atkinson and Rick Wishin on row 6. There it goes. Okay. I was struggling to turn there. And Dave Collier and Adam Hansen on row 7. Dan Forrester and Peter Duke on row 8. And rounding out your field, your first and second place guys from the last race, Josh Arnold and Dean Wareham. And boy, they're not wasting any time on this one. Barney is on it with that green flag, and we are back racing again.
We got some 3-wide action further back, but let's have a look at the front, see if everybody can navigate their way through the first couple of twisty turns. And a sweeping right-hand corner, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. More action currently here at the mid-pack. There's somebody around there. That's deja vu, my friend, of what exactly happened on race 1, that same turn.
I believe Adam Hansen was involved in that. He drives that red Old Guys racing livery car. So we got Curtis out front and Bradley Loving's right behind him. And of course, those two race a lot excuse me, together. They're in a league together, so they ought to have some fun up there. And you got Sean Atkinson. I'm sorry, Mickey Doolin, right? Michael Doolin, right in there. I'm wanting to call him Mickey Doolin now from the Monkeys. He got by Brad. Michael got by Bradley Lovings. That's a good pass. Brad's a good driver. That's a good pass. Bradley's a fast driver.
They're all
you gotta,
gladiators, my friend, to get out here and throw these Toyota 86s around this track.
They're so fun to drive. These things are so much fun to drive. They've got
the initials again. Yes, thank you very much. Once again, it just resets itself back up. And thank you for reminding me.
These 86s are the first cars you drive with in sports car license that have have ABS on them. So you really get to really sling them around and stomp on the brakes a little bit. These things are a blast to drive. Could be one of the best free cars in iRacing, with the exception of probably the Radical. So yeah, Curtis Matthews still out front here with Michael Dolan in there behind him. Bradley Loving still back there in third. They are separated by just about a half a second between all of them. Oh, Bradley made a nice little inside move there. I thought he was going to try to get both of them in one turn there.
Oh,
yeah, that was a nice move there.
Possible if they make a mistake up the road. This top three is starting to put a little bit of a gap back down to
they
Dean
really
Cummings, the Power Thunder from Down Under driver there. It's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning or so, like I am, to be a part of this league. That's dedication there from the Aussie.
Yeah, the Power Thunder from Down Under. That is dedication to get up this time of the morning to do that. That's good stuff, though. Yeah, you got Sean Atkinson's up 2 spots already into 5th back there behind him, and Lee Ryland's up 4 spots into 6th place. And some of our front runners from earlier on, Josh Arnold is up 6 spots back there, and he's made it up to 12th so far. And Peter Duke is up 3 spots into 13th.
Mikey, no, Mikey. Michael Doolan's going to run off the track there, towed back to pit road. I don't know why you towed back so much. He must have had a heavy lick into the fence. Here we go. Don't you look. If you've got any small children in the room, please make them look away. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 1, and I don't think this is going to work.
Oh, no. 2 of them, all 3 of them are off the track.
Wow.
Oh, no, they're everywhere now.
And how's that? Tez, John Johnson, Dan Foster, they all just, nobody wanted the left. They're all committing into the corner. It's early days, gentlemen. We are a feature race, of course. We've got a lot of time to go, but don't tell these drivers that.
Yeah, I like that livery on his car right there, too. That on Terry's, that British racing flag on there. I like that. That's a good looking livery.
And, well, British racing is certainly one to heart. Brits love to race. We love to race in Australia and the States too, but as much. But you got to give it to the British. They just loving all sorts of motor racing all around the world, and all sorts of different types of category of racing too. They're like, yeah, you guys in the States are more just, beefy, heavy, powerful horsepower engine cars, whereas in the UK it's everything.
we do like V8s and. Yeah, even our World Endurance Championship entries, like the Cadillac big V8, and our Mustang and Corvettes, all big V8 engines.
It's Rick Wishing up on the inside, but we do have Dan Foster going around. JJ's, I think they've come together.
Terry, is that Terry?
No, it's John Johnson. JJ.
Oh.
JJ's come together with Dan up on the inside here. We know it's going to be there's a bit of door banging and a bit of turn.
Yeah, I think he just got loose and kind of slid over in front of. I think JJ got a little loose there and just.
Back for the battle for P2 is resuming. Curtis Matthews trying to regain that position after the reverse grid. And he's cooked it into the corner. He's going to have to wait patiently as everybody's going to be zooming by. Remember, he was battling for P2 at the moment. It's going to be, look at the track map, not much of a gap at this point. He has to wait for the 14th place car to go around and then yank. No, he has to wait now for the 15th. If he can just keep it off the racing line. John Johnson, who had a little moment.
It looked like that car was taking off a little crooked there. He might, I think he's got some more problems with that car.
Yeah, let's have a look at the cockpit if it's crabbing. It's crab walking.
Oh, yeah. He's got some problems. He's just trying to limp it back to the pits, I think,
He's got to be careful to get off here because you've got a very fast John Johnson and stuff flying through here at 1,000,000 miles an hour. They don't want to get involved in this one, and he's barely can't keep it on the track there. So JJ and Dan do get past, and he does elect to tow. He just says, I can't drive this one back, mate. I can't even get it around a corner.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Curtis. It was good to see him up front there. Like I said, he's one of the league sponsors here, I believe. We've got his logo pops up in the corner there every now and then. With his, there it is, his Blue Angels Kennels. That's a shame to see that for him. I was glad to see him running up front. Now Bradley Loving's up there in first place. That does not surprise me. He's a quick driver. Sean Atkinson slotted in there right behind him. Well, not right behind him. There's about a 2-second gap almost there. And then there's a gap back to Dean Cummings. They really kind of spread out a little bit there at the front.
This will be
but
commitment.
You got some nice battles here, though, right? This
Absolutely.
Section right here is some nice.
You go down to Adrian Hatfield's going to have a nice little bird's eye view of this battle up the road, and here he is, Hatfield.
Yeah, you've got 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th here. All, you can throw a blanket over them. They're so close.
Keep an eye out on Rick Wishton. He is up 7 places, and Lee Reynolds is also up 6. Let's have a look, because Rick might be looking at getting another position gain here. That's Dean. That's Rick Wishton. And that's Dean Cummings.
Yeah. Ooh.
No space allowed. It has to lift. He did argy-bargy. And look at that, Josh Arnold. As we're running on board, turned.
Oh, no.
Oh.
He was up 12 spots, too. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he kept it off the wall, though, at least.
I don't know if he actually saw him, because we were riding on board, weren't we, with...
Yeah, you couldn't
Adrian.
really, if you're not running triples there, you...
Adrian's front bumper's almost come off there too. Look at that. It's hanging by a thread at the moment. If that was race control would be deeming that that would be unsafe. But of course in the virtual world it's not going to essentially affect a crash. Is that debris model doesn't get caught in your car yet in iRacing.
Yet, that's right. Yeah, that sure did shake up that mid-pack a little bit, didn't it?
Certainly has.
Man, Josh Arnold still managed to fall back in at 12th, and he did not hit the wall, and he was blistering fast coming up through there, so hopefully he'll get back on pace because he was flying.
Yeah. And keep an eye on this man. 8 positions gained, and Lee up the road there, 7 positions gained, and clearly these two are going to be looking at having a fun little duo party here. I think at the moment Rick's holding out his hand to Lee, saying, "Would be my dancing partner for a couple of laps." And is Lee going to accept the challenge?
I believe they're smart enough to try to work together here to catch that lead, get up closer to the leaders there. You've also got 2 other guys that were front runners in that last race that are moving up nicely, is Peter Duke and Daniel Wareham. They are both up 9 spots, running in 7th and 8th right now. And they're on the move as well.
Terry gets past Adrian Hatfield. That's because Adrian's front bumpers all just dented up there, costing him a bit of straight line speed, no doubt. Is he going to elect to go down pit road and fix that? Because he'll be running at least a second, if not 2 seconds a lap slower than everybody else, unless it flies off there and manages to sort itself out for the aerodynamic performance. You don't know. I've never seen that before in iRacing, actually, just holding on like that.
Yeah, they have a tendency, if you get up on a high speed enough run, they'll blow off sometimes. I've had that happen, especially at some place with a really long straight, like the back straight on the Nordschleife or something like that,
So this is the battle that I suspected it was going to happen. This is the battle with the biggest gainers at the moment for Lee Reynolds and Rick Christian. We'll go on board with Dean Cummings and have a look at his perspective of that battle up the road there. That way we won't get tricked by any of his poor iRacing cameras sometimes. They're going to go side by side through here. Not really recommended, gentlemen, through the S's, but they played it safe.
Yeah, they that's a good little battle right there, Rick and Lee. Yeah, they are, and they're moving. Like I said, I don't think they want to spend too much time running side by side because those guys in front of them, if they're not careful, we'll just get away from them.
On the front there of the windscreen from Lee Reynolds says, "No way, the lads." I think it says, "No way, the lads." Not quite sure why. What that even means. No way, the lads. I mean, look at that. See?
Well,
no way, the lads.
Your eyes are better than mine.
Daniel further back in the field. There's also looking at making a move. That's Simon on Dan the Man. Wareham. And Simon's going to get towed. This just feel like I'm watching the Bowman clash. And then again, that's only a short track with no room. These drivers have a little bit more space. Of course, you can go 3 wide. We've seen that a couple of times. These drivers are going 2 wide. Keep it out of the kitty litter. There's contact.
Oh, no, Peter. No,
oh, it doesn't come back
Daniel.
in. Almost takes Simon out. And that's...
Oh, man.
And that wheel kind of just sorted itself out, but he's going to have to get a tow.
Yeah, I don't think... Oh, man. I don't think Daniel was too happy with Peter there. I'd have to... We'll get a chance to take a look at that in a minute, but...
We'll look at the chopper cam. Gives us a little bit of a better perspective on that. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
6 to 1, half a dozen to the other.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of both moved in the direction of each other there. I don't know. That's hard to say. I'm glad I'm not a steward, so. But needless to say, that was 2 extremely fast cars that it didn't do them any favors. Daniel is still out there. I don't know if he's suffered enough damage that he's not going to be fast anymore. In fact, when you get a chance, if we could maybe look at his steering wheel just to see if he seems to be going pretty good, but...
Do you want to look at Dan? Yes.
Yeah, Dan's steering wheel, just to see. I mean, obviously we know Peter's tore up. Nah, he's good, okay. Yeah, he might be all right then, maybe, obviously Peter took the worst of that when he hit the wall. So
keep an eye on the lap times as well, too. I'll show you the last lap times for the drivers. Of course, it'll be quite significantly slower there for Dan at this point, around 149. But we'll see what he does once he's got back up to that racing speed. We're keeping an eye on Sean. He's making a run there on Bradley Lovings. And this is your battle currently on the screen for P1.
Yeah. Well, he sure is making a little run on Bradley there. Go, Sean. Yeah, that could shape up to be a nice battle there. That's going to be fun if they decide to dig out
that thing in the corner. I mean, this is lifted up off the ground.
What's funny is he's a Porsche driver normally, and you can't roughhouse Porsches like that. If you do, you'll lose them quick. So he's really naturally a rather smooth driver, but he sure is muscling this Toyota around it, and he probably enjoying it because he didn't get to do that in those Porsches too much.
Here comes my pick actually at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah, Rick's flying.
To get his way up the front here pretty quickly in the next couple of laps because, he has been.
He's flying.
He's absolutely 9 positions gained currently at the moment, and just look at that. He's loving this track. It's coming together. It's working for the 274 machine here. He's driving like he's a pro. He really is in a pro class, and he's in a pro AM. And he's got to sit back at the moment and watch this battle. Actually, he's going to take him. Sean's making a little mistake. Hits the inside chicane. And actually, I think Sean's around in the fence. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he did. Tore the nose up on it.
Again, destroyed.
Golly, man. He was having a good run there, too. Is this it, right? Is this?
Yeah, he hits the chicane there.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's straight into the fence at a hard lick.
Well, it seems like these cars, for whatever reason, man, when they decide to get sideways, they just take off for the fence, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. You could build these barriers like a mile away and they'd still somehow find the fence.
It seems like it, doesn't it? It's crazy. Like,
I need
you see a lot of cars.
the sand trap out there. But they unfortunately no driver's been offered to the sand traps at the moment. They've been
Well,
offered the
I
completely
think
different parts.
that's probably more for the super fast cars that come here, like the Indy cars race here and the GT3s and stuff like that. But I know IndyCar races here, or has. Well, look at Bradley throw that thing around. Now those two guys are both driving. That's both two old guy racing league guys right there too.
Daniel just set the fastest lap. It just got past Sean, flying. Sean, we know, has some damage on the front end, as you can visually see. Josh is bowling it out with Stewart. That's further back here. Josh
Daniel Ware, he did. That's the fastest lap of the race.
That's about a second quicker than almost everybody
16
else.
16 minutes into this race, and he just lays down an absolute heater.
He's going to be on the back of his teammate. No time, actually, he will, because Josh is going to try and make his way past Stewart.
Well, and Josh got in that trouble earlier. He's super fast, well, and he won the last race, and now they're both going to fly up through there together.
This is fantastic. Look at this. We'll stay on board with Daniel for a moment, because I got a feeling Daniel was going to seize the opportunity to get past the BP Racing 99 machine as well. If there's a space, and sends it up the inside, follows his teammate through of Josh Arnold, and says, thank you very much, I'll take that one. Fastest man on the track currently at the moment, making another position gain up through 9. His teammates up at 11. And we'll keep an eye at those two if they're going to follow each other for a little bit. They both have some pretty good speed, you can see on there, but you got to wonder at the moment if the Simtech of Josh Arnold has got a little call up there from the chief engineer saying, mate, your teammate's clearly the quickest driver on the track right now. Let him through, let him go up the road, but let's keep an eye on the battle for P1. Here comes Rick.
Oh, Rick got by him.
Not yet. He made a little bit of an error. Actually got the track position, holds on. And there's my pick. I said that Rick was going to be up at the front of this field there within a couple of laps, and he has proved it probably in less time than what I thought it has. Rick on a rampage.
Yeah, and you got Lee Rylands back there. He's up 7. He's up hard too. And then you got Josh Arnold, and the fastest guy on the track right now, Daniel Wareham. I believe he's put down 2 fast laps in a row now. Fastest laps in the race.
Yeah, keep an eye on Daniel very soon. He's on the back of Josh Arnold, but I don't know if there's going to be a switcheroo between them. They are starting to pull in. Terry Axon, actually, as you can see, just shy of a second on the timing tower. Keeping an eye peeled on this one. If Lee's going to see to do anything about Bradley Lovins, who started in this P2 position for the feature race, and it is currently in that P2 position, wants to continue to stay himself into the all-important stuff as Dan just gets past Sean, who's still out there with a wounded car, as you can see on the front end there, and he'll drop another place. You guess I said to Sean, I'm wondering if it's worthwhile getting into that pit lane and getting their repairs, because he's just dropped a ton of places now on his lap times, as you can see. 42s, that's... he's 5 seconds lap slower than everybody else, and that's just how much time is going to cost you in pits to get it fixed as to how much time you're losing per lap. Big questions.
Yeah, I think that there's some level of hope when you stay on the track, and you just it's kind of like giving up when you decide to pull in the pits because your race is absolutely over. Not that it's not already, in that situation. By the way, looking up here in the chat, Walter SBG has definitely pointed out that it was Mickey Dolenz, not Dolan, with the monkeys, and that is correct. This goes all the way back to the GT3 series from the first race of the year. I started making jokes that he better not have a monkeys logo on his car, and but yes, you are correct. It was Mickey Dolenz, but it's close enough that it reminds me of it every time I see him, which is pretty funny. And but thanks for pointing that out for me too.
Good catch. Yep.
That's awesome. No, I love it. I love this. I love interacting with the chat.
This evening, they're right on top of that. Thank you very much. As these drivers have got to be sharp in the dying stages of our feature race as well too. So yeah, I'll take that back. Actually, the reason why Sean wouldn't be going into the pit lane, there's just not enough time to get back out. He'd lose too many places, so he's got to hang in there and get some crucial points back in P11 if he can maintain ahead there of Adrian Hatfield. who I believe
Which he does have a
also
decent
damaged as
decent
well.
gap over.
So they're both damaged. Look at that. It's the front fender club of Sean Atkinson and Adrian Hatfield. Both of them with damaged front noses. Yes.
That's hilarious. I'm not hilarious. Unfortunate, but funny that they're both running around out there together.
Not the drivers.
Yeah, not at all. So it looks like
how's that for a
Lee Rowlands is all over the back of Bradley Lovings now. And it seems like Rick hasn't exactly pulled away from Brad, but he certainly has established himself as the leader, and he's gotten away enough that Bradley's not trying to stick his nose in on every turn.
Of course, the advantage of following the cars in these 86s is the fact that you can see the brake lights. They're not painted on, and they work. So it gives these other opportunities for both Lee and Bradley to see their cars and see where they're braking and see where you can brake a little bit harder, of course, or perhaps not apply a brake as much there and maximize the speed in and out of the corners. That's your advantage that you do have following the car. Of course, the disadvantage is that you are in the dirty air, and if you are happen to follow that car a little bit too much and not your own racing line, you'll make mistakes.
It would have probably behooved a few of those drivers on the first lap of both of these races to watch those brake lights a little closer. We might not have had those couple of pileups on the first lap in both races, especially that first one where we ended up tearing up about 5 or 6 cars.
Could have had the brake light intensity, or at least the extra additional brake lights, so that if you really do, they do it on road cars now too sometimes, that if you absolutely slam on the brakes, then they intensify really hard, or there's some extra lights that actually come on so that you know that this person's fully on the brakes and fully on the anchors, and you throw the anchors on yourself. But you've only got a millisecond to make that decision, and racing at this speed with a couple of tenths out, Raiders goes off into the grass. There's Bradley, but it's just going to compromise.
Yeah, that's going to hurt him. Oh, sorry. That's going to hurt him right there. That stifled his momentum a little bit. He's kind of having to run a little wider car right now until he gets his momentum back up. I'm really surprised Lee didn't jump all over him there. He's been so close to him the whole time. At any moment he could try to pass him.
Certainly trying.
That was a good. Oh, yep. I'm sorry. That was a good angle right there. You see these downhill and uphill turns like that, man. That's what the beauty of this track is. It looks great on camera when you can actually see it. Sometimes the camera doesn't do it justice, but I tell you what, that's hard racing right there. When you come up over the crest of a hill like that, those cars get really light and they don't want to turn. This is a fun little track. It's hard to drive. I've had very little success here anytime I've ever been here.
He's going to try the switcheroo. This, I wouldn't say you're completely safe just yet. That P5 position, this is battling it out with Dean. That's Simon right here on your picture screen. You can't miss the car, of course. There's almost every color of the rainbow into it.
I love it.
Bingo.
I love that livery.
He gets the job done. And he might be safe now from Dan further back and his teammate Josh Arnold and Dan, because they're the ones that are approaching pretty quickly. But the thing is, there's only a minute left to go. So I think Dean, if he just makes that car as wide as possible, can hold on. Rick should be not dominating, but Rick certainly got the job done on this one. Fantastic race, up 11 places. So he'll see that checker flag very soon. But the battle for P2 is still resuming. Of course, that battle for P4 is now heating up.
It is. And then back in the field a little bit, you got Josh Arnold it looks like he just slid into 5th place here right at the end of the race. And you got Daniel Wareham back there trying to he's in 7th right now, trying to get up into 6th over with Dean Cummings. He's all over him. So yeah, there's battles all over the place out here on this what looks to be the last lap of the race.
Yeah, Dean's in a little trouble here at the moment. He's probably going to drop behind Daniel if he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't have to worry about that. Simon's made a mistake right behind the tree. Simon's gone around, and there goes a top 10 potentially finish there as Bingo will go through Simon. So, but keep an eyes peeled on the battle for P2 on the last lap of the race. I believe it is, because they've crossed the line there, and look at the timer. Here we go.
Yep. Yeah, this is definitely the last lap of the race here. Looks like the leader got across right before the timer went out, so we are getting one more.
It's a switcheroo. I think we played that switcheroo.
he got by him there. I wonder if Brad thought the race might be over if he was watching a timer or something. But Lee's been on him the whole time. It's not surprising that he would have gotten by him. He's been dogging him pretty hard there for a while. This ought to be interesting coming back around.
Not really many overtaking opportunities now. Only, I would say, the final turn. And again, I might be wrong on that
one. He might create them.
He's going to push it, but there's our race leader. He's only got this right here to go. There's the checkered flag. Bingo, gets the race win. That was done, actually. So Lee P2, Bradley P3. Josh a little bit further down the field there should get that nice secured P4 there. Dean Cummings manages to hold off Dan the man. I think just towards the end there. Tezak P7, Stewart P8, Dan Foster in P9. There's two Dan the mans out there. Simon, John Johnson, JJ with the earlier incident as well too, and Sean Atkinson and Adrian Hadfield are going to be side by side almost for the front fender club. It's all shaking all around between these two drivers.
They're
somehow
identically hanging on the same way too. That's hilarious.
Exactly.
Look at that.
So it goes to show you that you could do 40, about 42. So Adrian had 40 on the damaged car. But we don't know exactly how much damage is inside those cars, but there you go. How often do you drivers out there practice with damaged cars too? That's the thing, isn't it? That would work more for endurance races than anything. But there's our race winner, Rick, and I think it's only a couple more drivers to come across the line there to wrap up our feature race, and that's...
So Josh Arnold ended up having a pretty good day, won the first race, ran fourth in the second race, starting from the back of the field. That's a pretty good day. You know, Bradley Lovings had third place, but of course he was one of the guys that was at the very back of the at the previous race because of that early first lap incident. Lee Rylands with a nice day, two really good finishes there, and Rick Wisham, what a nice run he had there on this race.
Let's check out our race results for the feature race.
Yep. All right. So finishing first, Rick Wisham. Second place, Lee Rylands. Third place, Bradley Lovings. Fourth, Josh Arnold, ones we just talked about. Fifth, Dean Cummings got up there and got into fifth place again with the amateur. Is that amateur status? Yeah, I believe it is. Daniel Wareham in sixth. Terry Atkinson in seventh. Stuart Brierley in eighth. Dan Forrester in ninth. Sean McPhee in 10th, rounding out your top 10 there. In 11th, John Johnston. 12th, Sean Atkinson. Tough day for him. Adrian Hatfield, same, tough day. The front end club there. Dave Collier finishing 14th. Adam Hansen in 15th. Curtis Matthews with a really tough day for him, finishing in 16th. Peter Duke had a great run in the first race, but a very unfortunate incident here in second race, finishing 17th. And Michael Doolin got into a little trouble there early and closed out and finished this one in 18th place.
Excellent. Let's see if we can get some of the drivers to have a bit of a chat about their adventures here.
I remember. I can't pull them up in here. So,
all right, we'll pull them both up at the moment. We'll go through one by one.
There you go.
So we're going to pull Bradley up here, Bradley Lovings, and we're going to pull Rick Wishton up here as well, two gentlemen. Jim, who would you like to speak to first?
Yeah, Bradley, Jim Cunningham, up in the booth. How you doing, man?
What's up, baby? What's going on?
How you doing, man? I was pulling for you there. That first race was a little tough, obviously, and you had a good run. You had a good run in the second, but looked like Lee Ryland snuck by you there on that last lap.
I got a little unsettled on that chicane, man. First race was unfortunate. 2 races today. Lap 1 has not been very good to me. So
I pointed that out on the broadcast too. The same thing happened to you in both races.
But I'm happy to see Rick get the win. He brought it to the USA, baby.
He did indeed. Y'all had a nice run up there. Anybody you want to shout out to while I got you in here?
No, man. I seen you was up here, JP Broadcasting. Jim, you know I love you. You guys are great. You put on a great broadcast. Tanso puts on a great show, and I appreciate them letting us race.
All right, man. It was good to see you. I'm glad to get to talk to you tonight, and
Yeah.
you have to share some Daytona stories with me soon. I'm ready to hear what kind of time y'all had at the 24.
For sure, man. Yep. Like I say, I'll watch the broadcast and can't wait to see your oversight on everything. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, man.
Oh, yeah. Don't kiss the spider. He doesn't have to kiss the spider
Yeah,
anyway
sure.
yet, but that'll go
No,
to
it's Rick. Rick gets
the
to
next
kiss
man.
the spider.
Rick, you've got to go kiss that spider, my friend. Congratulations, you've run the race. What a dominating form.
Thank you. I didn't get a good lap in on qualifying. Had to start from the back in the first race. Just working my way through traffic. Love this track. All the corners flow really fast. Just keeping good exit is the main key.
Yeah, I think this is Jim Cunningham up in the booth. I think that this track is underrated, especially for these smaller cars like this. You know, it's tougher if you run the big GT3 cars or something like that here, but these little cars, this is I think an underrated track in the United States myself.
Oh yeah, I agree. I say corner exit is key here. Keeping that pace up through the corner, especially in traffic and around everybody else. It's a tough place to pass.
Well, you sure managed to get it done there in that second race. You made up, well, I guess, 11 spots. You came up in that second race to take the win. Congratulations, and congratulations on bringing it home for the old guys and back to the United States.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. The nerves was on edge. I just knew I was going to choke on that last lap somewhere.
Well, and of course, with Bradley behind you, you never can tell what's going to happen because he was back there for a good portion of that till the last lap.
Yeah, he's great to race with. He's always been really clean with me, and him and I always work really well together. It was a great teammate.
All right, anybody you want to shout out to while we got you in here?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife, obviously, for giving me the time to do this and allowing the finances for this great sport. I want to thank my girlfriend and the PS for keeping the tires and wheels clean, keeping me excited. I want to thank the OGR guys, man. They've helped me a lot to gain a lot of pace, and they're always there to help me. And thank you guys. It's a terrific broadcast. And Tanso, thank you, man, for allowing us to run. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Yeah, congratulations. It was good to talk to you.
All right, thank you guys.
We'll see you next week, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. You want to? We got anybody else? Can we get Lee in here? You think?
No, Lee's not in the waiting room at the moment. So
he didn't jump in?
He's got to jump in for a chat to us. So there is our grid, of course, well, as our race results. So as you said, Americans have a P1 and a P2 from Rick and Bradley, and Lee.
Oh, P3. Lee. Yeah, Lee was the P2 there.
P2.
What is that flag? You would know that. I don't know.
It's England, my friend. England. England. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, we could have had you got Josh Arnold a little bit further back there for the Canadian, and then you got the Aussie. So multinational racing top 5, as you can see in your pictures. Let's have a look at the pro for the feature race, and that was Lee and gets that one done over Josh Arnold there, and Daniel Wareham was sliding his way back up through the field there alongside Josh. Actually, those two were almost inseparable during this whole race. Let's go for the Pro AM class in that one, and you know that that was dominated there by Rick with a fantastic drive, slicing his way 11 positions through the field there to finish, once he said, from his poor qualifying performance, but he made it up certainly when it counts at the race. And there's Bradley Lovings and Terry Atkinson for the top 3 for the Pro AMs. Over to the AM class for the feature race. Dean Cummings will be the winner of that one by 2 seconds over Stewart there, with Simon, JJ, Adam, and Michael rounding out the field for the AMs.
Yeah, that was a pretty good racing today, man. There were battles all over that track, and apparently this track caused a few incidents, especially if people aren't really used to racing on it. Like Rick said, it's a flowing track that a lot of these turns are pretty high speed for these cars, not a lot of slowing down in these things,
Absolutely, that'll be it to wrap up the Conspit GR86 Tanso Racing League. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, Paul West and Walters and Connor and Lynn, Nasselnoff and Claire, and everybody else there supporting their drivers, their friends, their family, or just supporting the league and having some fun on your Sunday evenings, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much. Jim, it's been a pleasure, mate, again. And we'll be back, of course,
as always. Enjoy your NASCAR tonight. I'm gonna go enjoy mine as well, and your next broadcast that you got coming up also, whatever that is. I forgot what you said you had.
That's the real NASCAR.
That's next. Okay, I thought you had one more in between there.
No,
all right, y'all have a good time, and hey, everyone, thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next week.
Does he have it? They're going to toss it. They haven't got it. He's on the outside line though.